at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans for Super Bowl 6. This year's Super Bowl will be between the Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Rams. They're the teams that played in last year's Super Bowl. And the Chiefs won that game 20-3. That was a defensive struggle for both games, or for both teams rather. Chiefs have won the last two Super Bowls. They beat Detroit in Super Bowl 4 and Los Angeles in Super Bowl 5, so they're looking for three in a row. They also appeared in Super Bowl 1, losing to the Green Bay Packers. They were also the AFL champs in the pre-Super Bowl era in 1964, and the Los Angeles Rams were the NFL champions in both 1949 and 1951. I have done very little in the manner of doing this for football games, so please bear with me if I sound terrible at it. All right, let's get ready to start. We're at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans. We have weather of 53 degrees and it is clear. Quarterbacks for today are Roman Gabriel for the Rams and Len Dawson for the Chiefs. In order to get here, the Rams first beat Washington 23-10. This was after George Allen left the Rams to coach in Washington and took enough Rams with him that in some circles the Redskins were being referred to as the Ramskins. And then they beat Dallas in the NFC Conference Championship 17-0. Dallas had beaten Minnesota in the first round. Kansas City in the first round beat Miami 10-6. Miami had the best record in the NFL this year. And Kansas City had a fairly pedestrian record of 9-5. Los Angeles had a record of 11-2-1. And then Kansas City had an easier time in the conference championship, beating Baltimore 30-12. And we're ready for the coin toss. And Kansas City wins the toss. They will receive. Kansas City has Reardon deep and McVay and Adamle short for the kick. And here's the kick. McVay gets it at the 7. He's tackled by Hammond at the 20. That's a return of 13 yards. So we are underway here. Kansas City has 1st and 10 on their own 20. Kansas City has Wendell Hayes and Ed Podolak in the backfield. Wide receivers, they have Otis Taylor and Elmo Wright. Tight end on the left side is Morris Stroud. At center, they have Jack Rudney. The guards are Ed Buttle and George Daney. And the tackles are Jim Tyrer and Dave Hill. As I always make sure to note, Jim Tyrer is an Ohio State alum. And other Big Ten players for the Chiefs, Ed Budd from Michigan State, Jack Rudney from Northwestern, and Len Dawson from Purdue, along with Ed Podolak from Iowa. On defense up front, on the line, they have Deacon Jones, Merlin Olsen, Phil Olsen, Merlin's younger brother, and Coy Bacon. They are a dominant line unit. The linebackers are Jim Purnell, Marlon McKeever, and Isaiah Robertson. Gene Howard and Jim Nettles at the corner, and Kermit Alexander and Dave Elmendorf as the safeties. So 1st and 10 on the 20. It's a handoff to Hayes. He sweeps to the left. And he got back to the line. McKeever takes him down at the 20. Jim Otis checks in for the Chiefs. 2nd and 10. Handoff to Otis. Looks like he is stopped at the 20. He's tackled by Deacon Jones. And Warren McVie checks in for Kansas City. 3rd and 10. Dawson back to pass. Olsen sacks him. That's a loss of 5. And it didn't say whether that was Merlin or Phil, but let's see if we can take a look and see. And here comes the punting unit. Punt is up, taken at the 35. Hammond gets 2 yards. That was a 50-yard punt for Wilson. On offense, the Rams have Roman Gabriel at the quarterback. Running backs are Willie Ellison and Les Josephson. Receivers are Lance Rensel and Jack Snow. Bob Klein is the tight end. He's on the right side. Ken Iman center. The guards are Tom Mack and Joe Schiavelli. Tackles are Charlie Cowan and Harry Shue. On defense, Kansas City has Marvin Upshaw, Buck Buchanan, Curly Culp, and Aaron Brown on the line. Like the Rams, they have a formidable offensive unit or defensive line unit. Oh, this is already disastrous. The linebackers are Bobby Bell, Jim Lynch, and Willie Lanier. Jim Carney and Johnny Robertson as the safeties, and Jim Marsalis and Emmett Thomas as the cornerbacks. it straight now. Sorry about this. 1st and 10 on the Los Angeles 37. Gabriel back to pass. Throws. That's incomplete. That pass was to Ellison, and it was a little high. Last year, the Chiefs intercepted Gabriel 3 times. Larry Smith checking in at running back. Matt Maslowski as wide receiver. It's 2nd and 10. Hand off to Smith. He's up the middle. He pass first. Robertson gets him down at the 30. That was a gain of 33 yards. He was able to shake off Willie Lanier and Marcellus. Miss a tackle. Let's watch that again. Looks like the offenses are already moving today. Didn't really see this last year. That brings up 1st and 10 on the Kansas City 30. Gabriel back to pass. Throws in the direction of Rensel. That's incomplete. Flag was on the play, but they're picking up, calling no penalty. Looks like Kansas City is running a zone defense right now. A lot of talk in 1951 about eliminating or making the zone defense illegal, because people thought that it was holding down scoring and making the game a little less interesting. I mean, if the NBA and the ABA made illegal or made the zone defense illegal, why not the NFL? All right, 2nd and 10. Gabriel back to pass. Throws in the direction of Smith, but that's incomplete. So that brings up 3rd and 10. Back to pass. That's complete to Jack Snow. Snow going to 5. Touchdown. And Ray puts up the extra point. So with 11:22 left to play in the first quarter, it is Los Angeles 7, Kansas City nothing. Reardon is back deep for the kickoff. He's got it. He's past the 40. Past the 45. To the 50. To the 40. To the 20. 10. Can he make it? Touchdown, McVay. Caught it at the 7 and took it all the way back in. Here is Jan Stenerud for the extra point. That's good. So just like that, we're tied up. 7-7. Here's Stenerud's kick. Williams picks it up at the 2. He is at the 20. Hadley brings him down at the 26. His return was 26 yards. He's at the 28. 1st and 10 at the LA 28. Handoff to Josephson. Upshaw pulled him down at the 28. No gain. It was a delayed blitz. They were running a trap play. That makes it 2nd and 10. I formation. Pitch to Smith. Makes it a 30, a 35. Looks like a first down. Bobby Belt brings him down. It was a 12-yard gain. Made it to the LA 40. Travis Williams comes in for Kansas City. I'm sorry, for Los Angeles. 1st and 10 at the 40. Handoff to Williams. To Renzel. Renzel to the 40. Looks like he made it to about the 47 on the reverse. That was a 7-yard gain. That'll make it 2nd and 3. Handoff to Ellison. Ellison got to about the 45. Got to the 46. That was a 1-yard loss. So that make it 3rd and 4. Gabriel back to pass. Throw to Renzel. That's incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down. Stutzel a punt. Here's the kick. Reardon gets it at the 14. He's surrounded. He's tackled by Pershing. No return. That was a 40-yard punt. So 7:46 left in the first quarter. Kansas City has the ball on their own 14-yard line. It's a handoff to Podolak. Purnell brings him down at the 18. That's a 4-yard gain. So it's 2nd and 6. Dawson gives it to Podolak. Podolak passes the 20, passes the 30, makes it to the 35. It's brought down by Purnell. That's a 17-yard gain. First down. Another handoff to Podolak. He's up the middle. Makes it to about the 38. So that'll be a gain of 3. Second and 7. Handoff to McVie. Gets to about the 40, maybe the 41. He was tackled by Jones on the sweep. Made it to the 41. It was a gain of 3, so that makes it 3rd and 4. Mike Adamle checks in for Kansas City. Screen pass to Hayes. He passed the 45. He's got the first down. He made it to the 47. That was a 6-yard gain. It was a heavy rush, but Dawson was able to get the pass off. So it's 1st and 10 on the Kansas City 47. Dawson back to pass. Throws to Otis, but that's incomplete. That'll make it 2nd and 10. They're rushing. He's back to pass. Nettles deflects it. That was intended for Taylor, so that'll make it 3rd and 10. Dawson is 1 for 3 in passing so far today. 3rd and 10. We're at the Kansas City 47. Dawson's back to pass. Complete to Taylor at the 30. Makes it to about the 22. That's a 31-yard gain. So they are in field goal range. Kansas City is with the wind right now. There's barely any wind, but Kansas City has it at their backs. 1st and 10. Hand off to Podolak. He's right up the middle. He makes it to the 15. To the 11. Tackled by Elmendorf. 1st down. Kansas City's had 9 plays on this drive. They made 75 yards so far in 4 minutes, 59 seconds. 1st and 10 on the 11. Dawson's back to pass. Dumps it to Otis, but that went right through his hands. Incomplete. 2nd down. Dawson's calling an audible. Hands up to Adamle. Right up the middle. Makes it to the 6. 5-yard gain. He was brought down by Olsen. Yeah, the game is not indicating to me whether it was Merlin or Phil. Merlin is the number 8, and Phil is the number 5. Phil's a rookie. He was originally drafted by the Patriots, but suffered an injury prior to training camp, and they did not submit a contract to him in time. So that made him a free agent. He signed with the Rams to play with his older brother. They're both alums of Utah State, where their parents were both instructors there. Hand off to Podolak. Makes it to the 5. To the 2. Touchdown. Here's Stenerud for the extra point. That's good. We have 1 minute, 15 seconds left in the first quarter. The Chiefs 14, the Rams 7. Williams deep. Here's the kick from Stenerud. It's about 3 yards into the end zone. He brings it out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, 25, to the 30, 35. They bring him down. Reardon brought him down at the 36. That was a return of 39 yards. And I'm shocked that there was a good return and no holding call. Because that seems almost like I don't know what I would call a stereotype or something. It seems almost like night follows day on this game. Okay, 1:05 left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 on the LA 36. Hand off to Ellison. He's tackled by Bell at about the 37. He gained 1 yard. We have less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Gabriel's calling an audible. Ellison with the sweep. Oh, and Lanier brings him down at the 37. No gain. And that's the end of the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, it is Kansas City 14, Los Angeles 7. So we'll start off the second quarter. It's 3rd and 9 at the Los Angeles 37. Gabriel back to pass. Fumble. Kansas City got it. Bell scooped it up. He got a run. He touchdown. They were running a double on Rensel and Snow. Let's look at that again. Guys, waiting to see if they call the play dead, but no. Bell has it. He touchdown. It's 20-7. Here's Stenerud. And that'll make it 21-7. Stenerud with the kick. It's 15-20. Heyman brought down by Hadley at the 27. That was a 24-yard return. I remember as a kid having a copy of the Guinness Book of World Records from around 1975-ish. And Roman Gabriel was had the record for most fumbles. I have no idea if he still holds that or not, but he did in the 70s. So it's 1st and 10 on the Los Angeles 27. Gabriel back to pass. That's complete to Josephson. Makes it to the 35, about the 37. Looks like it's just short. He was tackled by Bell. It was a gain of 8, so it's 2nd and 2. Hand off to Smith. He makes it to about the 36. That's a gain of 1, so it's 3rd and 1. Hand off to Ellison. Bell tackles him. It looks like he got it. He came down at the 38. So it was a 2-yard gain, and they got the first down. Gabriel back to pass. That was to Snow. Thomas tried for the interception but couldn't make it. Thomas is covering Snow while Marcel is covering Rensel and Robinson is covering Klein. So it's 2nd and 10. Rams have the ball at their own 38. Gabriel back to pass. Lanier after him. He sacks Gabriel. He was blitzing and he got him. Loss of 5 on the play. So that'll bring up 3rd and 15. he was right there. Third and 15, flag on the play.
Offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Penalty is on Cowan. First penalty of the game. That'll make it 3rd and 20. It was on Charlie Cowan, the tackle, the left tackle. Gabriel back to pass. They're rushing. He dumps one off to Smith. Flag on the play. He's tackled by Robinson.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 48, 5-yard penalty.
Illegal motion on Maslowski. They're going to decline that. Gabriel dumped that to Smith at the 26. He was tackled by Robinson at the 33 for that was a 5-yard gain. Bringing up 4th and 15, so here comes the punting unit. Punt is up. Fair catch called by Podolak at the 18. That was a 43 or 49-yard punt from Studstill. That'll make it 1st and 10 on the Kansas City 18. Seen a bit of action in this game, more than last year. Yeah, I had to do an update for this. I'm hoping that it sounds all right. I haven't done any kind of recording since the World Series ended. So with 11:08 left in the first half, it's 1st and 10 for Kansas City on their own 18-yard line. Tossing back to pass. Short pass to Podolak. Robertson tackles him at the 20. They gain 2 on that play. So 2nd and 8. Kansas City trying to combat the zone defense of the Rams. Pitch to McVay. He makes it to about the 20, the 21. He's tackled by Alexander. That's a 2-yard gain. Rams coach this year, Tommy Prothro, taking his team to the Super Bowl in his first year. So it's 3rd and 6. Tossing back to pass. Phil Olsen with the sack. That's his 2nd sack today, so I guess he made the earlier sack too. That was a loss of 7 for Kansas City. And they're coming out the punt. Punt is up. Hammond signals for a fair catch. They're going to let it roll. It rolls dead at the 34. That was a 51-yard punt from Wilson. So the Rams take over on their own 34-yard line. They're down by 14. Gabriel back to pass. Throws to Ellison, but that's incomplete. Second and 10. Hand off to Smith. Smith with the sweep. Makes it to about the 34. Made it back to the line of scrimmage. Well, it's 3rd and 10. Gabriel back to pass to Snow, but it's deflected by Lynch. That brings up 4th down. Punt caught at the 18. Podolak had it at the 18. He was able to return it 1 yard before Geddes brought him down. That was a 48-yard punt from Studstill. 1st and 10 on the Kansas City 19. Dawson, little pitch to Podolak. Podolak to the 20, the 25 fumble. Looks like Kansas City recovers. Rudney, the center, jumped on the ball. Kansas City keeps possession. That was a 5-yard gain. So that brings up 2nd and 5. Pitch to McVay. Makes it past the line of scrimmage. 1st down. It's knocked out of bounds by Purnell at the 33. That was a 9-yard gain. So 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 33. Hands off to Hayes. Hayes makes it to about the 35. He was brought down by Bacon. That's a 2-yard gain. Be 2nd and 8. I formation. Hand off to Podolak. Podolak to about the 40. Nettles brought him down. That was a 5-yard gain, so that'll bring up 3rd and 3. Dawson back to pass. Throws in the direction of right, but that was incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th down. Here's a punt from Wilson. Hammond from the 14. He was tackled by Reardon. Brought it back 9 yards. That was a punt of 46 yards. So Los Angeles takes over on their 23-yard line. Gabriel back to pass on the 1st down. Throws underneath to Ellis. That's incomplete. So it's 2nd and 10. Hand off to Ellison. Gets to about the 23. The 24. Buchanan brought him down at the 24. That's a 1-yard gain. So it's 3rd and 9. I formation. He's back to pass. There's a flag. Upshaw brings down Gabriel.
Number 65.
Holding on Tom Mack. And they're going to decline that. Oh. Hit the wrong button. They accept it. 3rd and 27. Gabriel back to pass. It's 3rd and 21. Throws in the direction of Snow, and Snow drops it. So that brings up 4th and 21. Here's a punt. Picked up at the 45. He makes it to about the 47. Podolak tackled by Geddes. That was a 43-yard punt from Studstill. So it's 1st and 10 on the Kansas City 47. Hand off to Podolak. He's right up the middle. Tackled by Bacon. That was a 1-yard gain. Tight end was being doubled there. Looked like Dawson called an audible on that play. So it's 2nd and 9. And off to Otis. Makes it past the 50. Tackled by Phil Olson. At the 48. That was a 4-yard gain, so it's 3rd and 5. Kansas City is in LA territory now. Rams are showing a blitz. Pass complete to Hayes. 1st down. Flag on the play.
Offsides, defense. Number 21, 5-yard penalty.
It's on Howard. That'll be declined. It was a short hitch to Hayes at the 46. And he was stopped at the 41 by Purnell for a 7-yard gain. Penalty was called on Gene Howard. So it's 1st and 10 on the LA 41. We have 2:31 left in the first half. LA showing blitz.
Encroachment, defense. Number 74, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
That's on Merlin Olsen. So that'll make it 1st and 5. 3rd penalty of the game for the Rams. Chiefs have no penalties yet today. Dawson back to pass. To Podolak. Gets past the 30. He's stopped by Rick Robertson at the 29. 1st down. 7-yard gain. Clock is running. We have 2:25 left in the first half. Dawson back to pass. That's complete to Stroud. Stroud makes it to about the 22. To the 23. Made a nice catch. He was brought down by Elmendorf. That's a 6-yard gain to make it 2nd and 4. And that's a 2-minute warning. We have 1 minute 59 seconds left in the first half. Dawson, handoff to McVay. McVay makes it to the 20. Did he make it to the 1st down? Yes. He was tackled by Olsen at the 19. That was a gain of 4. So it's 1st and 10. With 1:49 in the first half. It's a handoff to Hayes. He makes it to about the 15. He's tackled by Phil Olsen. And Kansas City called timeout, their first timeout. Second and 6, 1:19 left in the first half. Kansas City's at the LA 15. Dawson's back to pass.
Pass interference, defense. Number 58, 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Let's see, that was on Isaiah Robertson. They hitched Podolak. And the ball was knocked loose, but he said Robertson was there early. That'll make it first and goal from the Los Angeles 10. Hand out to McVay. Makes it back to the 10. He's tackled by Purnell.
Holding. Offense. Number 89. 15-yard penalty.
Ooh, and they call Otis Taylor for holding. That'll make it first and goal from the LA 25. 108 and a half. Dawson completes that one to Hayes. He's making for the sideline. He stepped out at the 22. That was a 3-yard gain. So it's second and goal. Dawson back to pass. He's being pressured. That was a pass to Straub, but Elmendorf knocked it down. Incomplete. Third and goal. They're putting a lot of pressure on Dawson. Dawson back to pass. And he's running with it. Makes it to the 20, to the 15. Made it to the 13. Fourth and goal. Here comes the field goal unit. Here's the kick from Stenerud. It is up. It is good. That was a 20-yard field goal attempt for Stenerud. That makes it Kansas City 24, Los Angeles 7. We have 20 seconds left in the first half. Stenerud kicks to the 1. Has it. He passes the 15. He passes the 30, 35, 40, 45. Williams goes out of bounds at the 46. He returned that 44 yards. 11 seconds left in the first half. First and 10 for the Rams on their 46. Hand off to Josephson. Lanier brings him down at the 45. No gain. And that's the end of the first half. Go to halftime. Kansas City leads 24-7. Kansas City has 144 yards so far today, while Los Angeles has 85. Dawson is 7 for 10. Passing 62 yards, while Gabriel's 3 for 12 for 43 yards. He has thrown for 1 touchdown. Rams have rushed 12 times for 56 yards, 4.7 yards per carry, while the Chiefs have rushed 19 times for 94 yards, 4.9 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Rams have 1 turnover, and that was a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. Gabriel's been sacked twice for 14 yards lost, and Dawson's been sacked twice for 12 yards lost. A lot of blitzing. They've run 17 blitzes, while Kansas City's run 6. And Kansas City's had the ball for 5 more minutes than Los Angeles has. Third downs, LA is 2 for 6, while Kansas City is 5 out of 9 in making a first down. Neither team has gone for a first down on 4th. Kansas City's been to the red zone twice. They have a touchdown and a field goal. Rams haven't made it there yet. In the second half, the Rams will receive. Here's Stenerud with the kick. Takes it at the 2, to the 15, to 20, 25, 30, 35. Williams tackled by Reardon at the 36. He returned that 34 yards. Kansas City showing blitz. I formation. Handoff to Ellison. Sweeps to the left. Passes the 50, the 40, 35. Made it to 32. Gain of 33 on that play. They're spotting the ball at the 31. I take that back. That was a off tackle run, not a sweep. Hand off to Smith. He makes it to about the 30. That's a gain of 1, so it's 2nd and 9 from the Kansas City 30. Hand off to Josephson. Right up the middle, he makes it to about the 26. It'll be 3rd and 5. Gabriel back to pass. That's complete to Jack Snow. Makes it past the 15 to about the 13. That'll be a first down. David Ray checks in for Los Angeles. Kansas City has moved to man coverage. There's a sack by Curly Cole.
Corbin, offense, number 71, 15-yard penalty.
They're going to accept that. Holding on Joe Chabelle. So that'll make it 1st and 25 from the Kansas City 28. hand off to Smith. And he makes it to about the 25. Spotting it at the 24, that's a 4-yard gain. So 2nd and 21. Gabriel back to pass. Throws a screen, and nobody could get it. That was intended for Ellison, but that was nowhere near him, really. That brings up 3rd and 21. Kansas City looking for the pass. Gabriel back to pass. Snow gets it at the 15. He's tackled by Thomas. At the 14. That was a 10-yard gain. So it's 4th and 11, and Kansas City or Rams are coming out for the field goal. Kick is up, 21-yard attempt for Ray. Roam to hold, no good. Kansas City takes over on their 20. It's a handoff to Podolak. He takes it up the middle to about the 22. That's a 2-yard gain. He was tackled by Robertson. Handoff to McVay. To 24. That's a gain of 2. So it's 3rd and 6. Hand off to Hayes. And Merlin Olsen stuffs him at the 20. Spotted at the 21. It's a 3-yard loss. 4th down. Punt is up. Caught it about the 32. Made it to the 37. That's a 45-yard punt for Wilson. 1st and 10 for Los Angeles on their 37. They are down by 17. Pass complete to Rensel. Looks like he made the 1st down. 10-yard gain, yes. That's 1st and 10 from the LA 47 now. Hands it off to Smith. Smith to the 50, to the 40, the 30. Thomas brings him down at the 21. That's a 32-yard gain. Smith is 83 yards rushing today so far in 7 attempts. So it's 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 21. Hand off to Ellison. He's right up the middle. He makes it to about the 16. Tackled by Buchanan. That's a 5-yard gain. Pitch to Ellison. He makes it to the 10. To the 9. 1st down. That was a 7-yard gain. Lynch brought him down. First and goal from the Kansas City 9. Hand off to Josephson. Makes it to the 10. Almost to the 5. He Carney brought him down at the 5, so 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and goal from the 5. And off to Ellison. Looks like he made it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Brought down by Upshaw. It was 3rd and goal. Gabriel back to pass. Incomplete. Tried a short pass to Ellison, but couldn't get it. A 12-yard attempt for Ray. Kick is good. That makes it 24-10. Kansas City leads. And here's the kickoff. Reardon has it at the 2. To the 10. To the 15. Tackle by Hammond at the 19. That was a return of 18 yards. Three minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Hand off to Hayes. Makes it to about the 23. Purnell brought him down. That was a 4-yard gain. Pitch to Otis. To the 25. Made it to the 29. He was tackled by McKeever. They're going to measure it. It is just short. So it's 3rd and inches. Hand off to Podolak. Robertson gets him at the 28. That's a 1-yard loss. So they're going to punt. Here's a punt. He has it at the 21. Makes it to the 30. Hammond with the return and Bessler with the tackle. That was a return of 5. 49-yard punt. The ball is spotted at the Los Angeles 28-yard line. Gabriel pitches to Josephson. Flag on the play. Josephson makes it to about the 29.
Encroachment defense. Number 86, 5-yard penalty.
1-yard gain, but Buck Buchanan called for a 5-yard penalty. So that'll make it 1st and 5. And off to Smith, another flag. Smith just short of the first down.
Defense. Number 87, 5-yard penalty.
Encroachment on Aaron Brown. So that'll make it 1st and 10 from the Los Angeles 38.
False start. Offense. Number 71, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Five-yard penalty on Joe Schiavelli. That'll make it 1st and 15. I formation, handoff to Williams. He makes it to about the 33, 34. That's a 1-yard gain. Clock is running. We have 48 seconds left in the third quarter. Hand off to Ellison. He makes it to about 35, maybe to 36. Leonard Lanier tackled them. They're marking it at 36, a gain of 2. And that's the end of the third quarter. Start the fourth quarter. Los Angeles is 3rd and 12 on their own 36. They are moving into the wind now, although there's very little wind to speak of. Gabriel back to pass. To Ellison, but he dropped it. He was hit by Lanier as he was trying to make the catch. That brings up 4th down.
Ball start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
And that'll move it back to the LA 31. Here's the punt. Picked up at the 30, 35. Ball is spotted at the Kansas City 33. It was a 38-yard punt from Reardon. Or from Studstill. Reardon was the receiver. He returned it for 2 yards. 1st and 10 on the Kansas City 33. Hand off the Podolak. Makes it to about the 34. So 1-yard pickup. Dawson back to pass. Completes it to Stroud. He's brought down by Elmendorf. That was a 4-yard pickup. That'll make it 3rd and 5. Hand off to Hayes. McKeever brings him down at the 38. He made it back to the line of scrimmage. Each team so far today has 10 first downs. And Kansas City will punt. Wilson has it. He drops it. McKeever recovers it. It was a 45-yard punt for Wilson. And a 5-yard return. So it's 1st and 10 for the Rams on their 21-yard line. It's a handoff to Josephson. And he makes it to about the 22, tackled by Buchanan. It's a gain of 1. Handoff to Ellison. He makes it to about the 22. Yep, made it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Tackled by Curly Culp. Brings up 3rd and 9. And Lanier with the sack. He brings down Gabriel for a loss of 9. That's Willie Lanier's 2nd sack today. And Los Angeles will have to punt. Fair catch called at the 44-yard line. So with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game, Kansas City takes over 1st and 10 on their 44-yard line. Hand off to Podolak. Makes a pass of 45 to about the 48. He gained 4 yards on that play. He was tackled by McKeever. up, 2nd and 6. Dawson back to pass. To Taylor, he overthrew him there. That'll make it 3rd and 6. Taylor was covered by Nettles of the Rams. Dawson back to pass. Sacked by Deacon Jones, but there's a flag on the play.
An eligible man downfield. Offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty.
And they're going to decline that. Game says that was a coverage sack, a loss of 10 yards. Making it 4th and 16. So here comes the punt unit. Punt is caught at the 10. And he returned it for 6 yards to the 17. That was a 51-yard punt for Wilson. Rams are down by 14, 8:59 left in the game. 1st and 10 from their own 17. Gabriel pass to Snow. He makes it to the 34. It's brought down by Robinson. That's a 17-yard pickup. Gabriel back to pass to Ellis. And he made it to the 38, so that's a 4-yard pickup. Rams center Iman was hurt on the play, but it looks like he's going to stay in the game. Lanier made the tackle to Ellison. It's 2nd and 6. LA is hurrying on offense right now. Screen pass, but it's deflected by Lanier. That was intended for Ellison. So it's 3rd and 6. Pass to Rensel, but he can't come up with it. Gabriel's having a rough day today. He's 8 for 22 with passing for only 97 yards. And the Chiefs, or the Rams, will punt. Reardon caught it at the 19. Geddes brought him down at the 24. It was a 43-yard punt from Studstill. First and 10 from the Kansas City 24. Handoff to Hayes. Makes it to about the 25. He's brought down by Bacon. So it's a 1-yard gain. Dawson back to pass. Intercepted by Nettles. To the 5. Touchdown, Los Angeles. That's his 2nd interception this season. The extra point is up and good from Ray. That brings Los Angeles to within 7. 7:01 left in the game. The Chiefs lead 24-17. So now each team has scored a touchdown on a turnover. Here's a kickoff. Pass 20, 25 to 30. Reardon return Ray's kick. They're marking it at the 29, so that was a return of 26 yards. 6:52 left. 1st and 10 on the Kansas City 29. Hand off to Hayes. He makes it to about the 30. He's tackled by Alexander. That's a 1-yard gain. Hand off to Podolak. He makes it to about the 31. That 1-yard gain. He was tackled by Bacon. 3rd and 8. Back to pass. He is sacked by Phil Olsen at the 24-yard line. That's a 7-yard loss. That's the 3rd sack today from Phil Olsen. And Kansas City will have to punt. Caught at the 25. Hammond called for the fair catch. They mark it at the 27. That was a 49-yard punt from Wilson. So 4:43 left in the game. Rams down by 7. They are 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. I formation. Screen pass to Ellison. He makes it to about the 25. To 24, that was a loss of 3. So 2nd and 13. Fumble. Upshaw brought him down that forced a fumble, but Los Angeles maintained possession. They lost 9 yards on that play. The ball's at the 15, so it's 3rd and 22. They're in a hurry-up offense right now.
False start. Offense, number 13, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
It's called on Lance Rensel. So that'll be 3rd and 27. I don't know if they called it a hurry-up offense back in 1971-72. So 3rd and 27. 3:55 left in the game. Gabriel back to pass. Screen to Josephson, but it's incomplete. So they'll be forced to punt. Punter is in the end zone. Return, crosses the 50. Now they're going to spot it at the 50. That was Studstill in the end zone, and Podolak caught it at the 43 and was brought down at the 50. So he returned it 7 yards. It was a 47-yard punt. 3:36 left in the game. Rams have to get the ball back. Hand off to Podolak. He makes it to about the 48. That's a 2-yard pickup. Hand off to Hayes. He gets to about the 46. Gain of 2. He's brought down by Bacon. Rams call timeout. So it's 3rd and 6. Deacon Jones sacks Len Dawson. That was a loss of 2. So here's the punt. It's out of bounds. Rams take over at their 7-yard line. 2:04 left in the game. Gabriel back to pass. That's complete to Renzel. He is forced out of bounds by Marsalis. At the 14, that's a 7-yard gain. It's a 2-minute warning. So it's 2nd and 3. Gabriel back to pass. Incomplete to Josephson. 3rd and 3. He's back to pass. Incomplete again to Ellison. 1:50 left in the game. 4th and 3. Gabriel back to pass again. Complete to Ellison. He did not get the first down. He stepped out at the 15. That's a 1-yard gain. So the Chiefs take over on the Los Angeles 15-yard line. We have 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the game. Dawson back to pass. Robertson with the sack. That's a loss of 13 yards. Los Angeles calls a timeout. They have 1 timeout remaining. That'll make it 2nd and 23. 1:41 left in the game. Dawson back to pass. Throw to right. He dives, but he can't come up with it. He was covered by Howard. So it's 3rd and 23, 1:35 left in the game. Dawson back to pass. Completes it to Stroud. He makes it to about the 15. It's a 13-yard gain. Los Angeles takes their last timeout. They're bringing the field goal unit out. Stenerud out for the field goal. 22-yard attempt. It's good. Kansas City takes a 10-point lead, 27-17. 1:25 left in the game. Here's Stenerud's kick. At the 5, to the 20, the 25, the 30.
Illegal block. Receiving team.
There it is. That's on Kermit Alexander. That's the call I was waiting for. The Browns just picked that up, the illegal block, like crazy on this game, on the kickoffs. So it's 1st and 10 from the LA 15. Los Angeles, no timeouts left. Gabriel back to pass. Dropped by Renzel. Marsalis was all over him. Renzel wants a flag, but he's not getting it. 2nd and 10. Screen to Joseph, incomplete. Just like last year, Gabriel is not having a good day in the Super Bowl. .103 left in the game. 3rd and 10. Gabriel pass intercepted by Thomas at the 38. Past the 30, the 20, the 10. He's finally tackled at the 2-yard line. He returned that for 36 yards. Gabriel was hit by Upshaw. Let's watch that again. That's Thomas's 3rd interception in this season. There it is. There's the hit and the interception. 54 seconds left in the game. First and goal from the LA 2. Los Angeles has no timeouts remaining. Hand off to Hayes. He is stopped by Olsen at the 2. No gain. Clock is running. Another handoff to Hayes. He's in it for a touchdown. Here's Stenerud for the extra point. That's good. 3 seconds left. Chiefs 34, Rams 17. Although game has felt closer than this. Here's Stenerud's kickoff. It's in the end zone. Brings it out to the 10, the 15, the 20, 25, 30, 35. Williams returned it 40 yards, and that is the game. Kansas City wins Super Bowl VI, 34-17. Game was closer than this, though, until halfway through the fourth quarter. Well, halfway through the fourth quarter, Los Angeles cut the Kansas City lead to 24-17. But they weren't able to capitalize on that. Los Angeles scored a touchdown in their first possession. And then they traded touchdowns at the very end of the first quarter. Los Angeles missed 2 field goals. Yeah, Los Angeles scored on their first possession, and then Kansas City came right back with McVay scoring on a kick return. Kansas City scored on a fumble recovery. Los Angeles scored on a interception. Each team had 11 first downs. Los Angeles rushed for 150. Kansas City rushed for 118. Los Angeles had a total yardage of 220 yards to 153 for Kansas City. Neither of the quarterbacks had that good a day today. Gabriel was 11 for 31 for 102 yards with an interception, a touchdown, and he was sacked 4 times. While Dawson was 9 for 17 for 79 yards. He was intercepted once. He was sacked 6 times. Smith and Ellison each broke off a big run for the Rams, each having a 33-yard carry, while Podolak had the longest carry for the Chiefs, 17 yards. And it looks like the best of the receivers was Jack Snow, he was a target 8 times. He made 4 receptions. He dropped 1. And he got a touchdown for the Rams. In fact, he got the only touchdown that the Rams scored on offense. Their second touchdown was a interception return by Jim Nettles. Yeah, this was a pretty good game, I thought. I mean, Kansas City kind of ran up the score a little bit in the last minute and a half with a field goal and then a touchdown after a turnover on downs. Let me see what take a look at what forget it. Neither Gabriel or Dawson had a big Super Bowl last year. Neither one of them had a big Super Bowl this year. But the Chiefs have now won 3 Super Bowls in a row. And they have won both of the post on field merger Super Bowls. They won the last of the AFL NFL championship games. That was Super Bowl 4 when they beat Detroit. And now they've beaten Los Angeles the last 2 years in a row in the 2 post-merger Super Bowls, or the post-on-field merger. So this is the end of the 1971 NFL season. I thought this game went pretty good. The Browns season was very disappointing for me. They finally got it together in like the second half of the season, but it was too late for them to catch Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh got themselves pretty unceremoniously booted by Baltimore in the playoffs, 13-0. But the Browns had lost to Baltimore in the regular season, so who knows what would have happened. So this is the end of the 1971 football season. And I will be back soon, I think, with the start of the 1972 baseball season. This game was played on January 16th of 1972. So there's about 3 months of calendar time of NBA, and NHL. Hoping to get to the 1972 baseball season in about 2 or 3 weeks. So once again, the final score in Super Bowl 6, it was the Kansas City Chiefs 34, the Los Angeles Rams 17. Kansas City has now won the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. Hope you enjoyed this game, and thank you for watching.